What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive.
Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I'm actually in the house today. It's particularly cold at the moment, as I'm sure everybody is aware of, and we haven't even got it that bad, to be fair. We had a little bit of snow on Wednesday afternoon, but it didn't really amount to very much. It was very pretty when it was falling, and the ponies seemed to be sort of a bit bemused by it, should we say. Well, they're not used to seeing any snow, to be fair. We're very rare that we suffer that badly, although we're quite close to the moor. We just seem to end up with this sort of sleet, and it's been very, very wet as well. It's dropped down to about the lowest, I think, about -1, -2, so a little bit of ice on the buckets, but nothing as bad as anybody else has been getting in the country. I hope everybody is coping and their ponies are doing okay in it. I've seen sort of videos of, yeah, very impressive. But yeah, we don't get that down here, we just get the rain. But it does, I do struggle in the winter to maintain motivation and positivity sometimes as well. And I'm trying at the moment to sort of get a bit of a plan in mind of what to aim for competition wise, training, and set some goals really, and try and be positive. So that's what I'm currently doing at the moment. I'm in the house, and I'm actually got some help with me today as well. I think it's mainly because the wood burner is on. So yes, we're very lucky, got the wood burner going, and accompany me while I try and work out what we're doing. Excuse all the cuddly toys. My dad's cleared them out of the loft, and I've got to find somewhere to put them. So that's where they've ended up at the moment. And so we got Taz. Just if I can work my phone. I was trying to zoom, but it's not working, so I have to get up. So this is Taz. He was an orphan, and he is called Taz because, yeah, when he was a kitten, he was like a Tasmanian devil. If anybody's ever seen the cartoon, he was mad, and he still has his moments now. You're not looking very impressed, Tazzy? Is it because you're sharing your sofa with a load of stuffed toys? And here we have our British short hairs. So this is Ginny. They sometimes feature on Instagram, but I think this is their first YouTube appearance. And Guinness, who isn't always a huge fan of being videoed, are you, Guinness? You're looking very sleepy. Yeah, it's a hard life, isn't it? So they'll probably be there for the next 12 hours. Quite content. Taz can't keep still for more than 20 minutes. So now I'm trying to sort of plan what we are going to be aiming for this year, sort of setting a few goals. Originally, I wanted to do the winter regionals at elementary silver and medium silver. So we got all our qualifying done at those two levels. We did also qualify at medium silver music, but we're not going to use that. I just don't feel that I don't think Bo overly enjoys doing the music, so we're not even gonna even entertain doing that. I think he's made his point perfectly clear when it comes to music. But now I'm also sort of thinking whether, rather doing the regionals, whether I should be doing the area festivals. Obviously, the area festivals are aimed at amateurs and grassroots, which is what I am. And the issue, if I keep doing the regionals, is if I ever wanted to bring another horse up behind Bo from the lower levels, which I really would like to do. I'd love the opportunity to do that. Is I'm going to be knocking myself into gold at novice if I'm not careful. Depending on obviously what results we achieve at elementary and medium at regionals, and then if we amazingly qualify for the championships, but I don't want to have that sort of in my mind that sort of holds. I don't want to hold Bo and myself back. I want to progress with him. So I think, and I enjoy competing, and I am competitive. So I could say, if I wouldn't go to championships, but the chances are, if we did amazingly qualify or get a wild card, I'd want to do it, because you just never know whether you're going to qualify again. With horses, you just don't know, or just in life in general. So I'm thinking that the area festivals might be a little bit of a better route for us, because it doesn't rule us out or rule myself out of things quite so easily. I find it a little bit of a minefield. I've got the rule book open on my laptop. I've got different sort of competitions entry. My poor little brain is just struggling a bit with it at the moment, and I'm struggling to get a clear idea of what to do. And I'm a great one for second guessing myself and then looking back and wishing I'd done something else. I'm brilliant at overthinking. So that's currently where I'm at the moment. So no clearer really. Yes, what to do. My other thoughts are, in this time of year in the winter, is getting the motivation to get us prepared. Particularly, it was a bit different when I was doing sort of prelim. It's walk, trot and canter, circle and that. Whereas obviously medium, there's a lot more lateral work involved. And I've got to stop playing with the flying changes so that I can re-establish our simple changes a bit. So there's a lot more preparation, and we both need to be a lot fitter. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, I find, with the winter. And then part of me sort of thinks, well, we're so lucky in the summer that Bicton, which is our sort of local venue, although that takes us about an hour and 40 minutes to get to, holds the summer regionals, and also they hold the area festival. Chard also hold an area festival as well. So part of me sort of thinks that I might be better off, rather than trying to do too much in this sort of time of year, that I'd be better off sort of working towards and putting more sort of preparation and time into doing the sort of the summer bigger competitions, because you'd hope the weather would be better, but then I'll be complaining probably it's too hot. Never happy. So yeah, what to do. I need somebody to organise me. That's what I need, because I'm useless at organising myself. I need somebody to tell me, you're doing this, you're doing that, that's it. But then I'd probably second guess and argue. So on the laptop, now this is a list of competitions in well, I've set it to the sort of areas that we sort of would travel to as sort of a day competition. So we've got Cornwall, Devon, Gloucestershire and Somerset. So these are sort of the venues that some of them I won't go to. I'd obviously choose ones that are easy enough for us to get the lorry to, and obviously I have to bear in mind my husband comes with me, so we tend to sort of compete mainly over the weekends. But yeah, so that's a list of, that's on British Dressage, and that's the list of sort of competitions coming up. We try to do Bicton Arena whenever that one's on. And I was looking at Chard. This is Chard's winter regional, and this tells you what classes are on each day. So if I was to do the elementary, I'd be on the Sunday, and then looks like the medium is on the Saturday. So if I was going to do my original plan of regionals, it would mean staying away, because Chard is just, it's a bit of a fiddly one to get to, really. It's quite twisty and turny, and Bo probably wouldn't want to do it 2 days running, and then in the winter as well. So they've got very nice stabling, so we would generally stay there. And my sort of thoughts with looking at the area festivals, the one we would do would be Prestige. And see what days I'd be on there. You see, again, it's split over the 2 days. So the medium silver is on the Friday, and the elementary silver is on the Saturday. So that would mean staying up there. I think, pretty sure they do have stables. Well, they used to, because I've stayed there in the past. But part of me is just wondering whether to just do one level as a day competition, which is what I'm sort of swinging towards at the moment. And plus this is later on in February, so give me a little bit more time to prep. But what else I've been looking at, and this is what's sort of thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, really, is because of the rules, I do look at the make sure there's no changes. So I went through the sort of the review on the different rules and what ones have been brought in, and then some of the eligibility has changed. So I've been back through and had a look at it, and I looked at novice silver, which Bo obviously as a combination we're definitely not eligible for, and I wouldn't consider dropping him down anyway. Where is it? Where did I read it? It's this one here. The scored 65% or 70 or 67% or higher at winter national championships or at elementary in the last 4 years. Now, when I have competed elementary at the winter championships, but we had 62%, and we were last, funny enough. That was when, we did not have a very good entry into that particular test. But it's this competed at the championships at medium or above. That is just, although I don't think in the million years we'd get a wild card for medium if we did do the regionals, but you never know. And if we scored over 68% at regionals at medium, that would, and I don't really want that sort of, now I've seen it, I don't want it hanging over my head, really. I complicate things enough without thinking that the what ifs. So I'm thinking area festivals might be the way to sort of go. I'm not 100% sure. I might still be eligible to, although I've already got medium silver points for this year, I might be eligible to do medium bronze still from now, so for summer. And I think what I'll aim to do is definitely do area festivals at medium, and in the summer I might look at doing the elementary silver at regionals, if I make sure I get enough points that I can then have this sort of decision closer to that time as well, whether I go area festivals or regionals. That's always the sort of the toss-up really, which is best to do. But I do need to sort of get a bit of a plan. I might have a bit of a chat with Hayley in my next lesson and see what her sort of thoughts are on it. But as it stands at the moment, I think I will probably end up looking at doing Prestige is area festival, because it's surprising how quick Chard Regionals is going to come around, and at the moment I don't think either one of us is ready. And with the lorry being away for MOT the end of January, it's just, I'd like to get a few competitions sort of under our belt before we go to a regional competition. So yeah, it will change, and I'm sure it'll all change again. It's always sort of juggling act to what's best to do really, because obviously I don't want to enter something I'm not eligible for, because it's not fair on other competitors. I don't want to end up on BD's naughty list, and yeah, so sort of thinking sort of more forward, a few more sort of goals. Definitely would like to do the Associate Championships again at Olney. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Again, it is the wrong time of year, but yeah, I think out of all of them, that would be the one I would really like to sort of aim for. Probably finding the costs are just, yeah, skyrocketing really. So I've got to be a little bit more selective, and try not to enter things that we then can't get to, or like I was very lucky with the area festivals that the day that we were due to compete, they had sorted the arenas out, but unfortunately with them being held that sort of time of year, that is always going to be a bit of a concern, and it's a long way for us to go, the area festival championship. I'm saying that now. The problem is, if we qualify, I probably go, oh, I don't want to miss out on going. But yeah, that's a long way off. That is a long way off at the moment. I don't know. I don't even know what date the Winter Championships is, but I think that's a bit of a long shot for us at the moment. But you never know. Oh, I've got to try and be positive. Got to be positive. Another goal. Got to be positive. I'm enjoying doing some more pole work with Bo, and doing a little bit more jumping, and I certainly want to sort of continue working at that, and did sort of think about doing the combine training series, if I get my words out. But I have to jump 80 centimetres, and I'm this at the moment, I think it's in March, it's at Chard, but I don't think I'm going to be ready for that. So perhaps I will put that as a goal for next year, to work towards. I need to get a lot more confident. We do really need to establish for jumping around. I think I've jumped one single fence at 80 centimetres so far. Of course, unfortunately, I had that fall, although I hasn't really sort of made me not want to jump at all. It just has sort of knocked confidence a little bit. So I definitely need to sort of continue working out. I'm hoping with more lessons, and I think with like a year's worth of lessons under our belt, then I would really hope that we could perhaps tackle the combine training series. And I'd like to hopefully get out in the summer and do some more sort of arena hires, cross-country hires, things like that, and sort of do more jumping with him, because Bo really does seem to quite enjoy it, and it's making him a bit more forward thinking, rather than sort of sitting in, obviously sitting a little bit behind my leg, which can happen sometimes with him. So sort of making him sort of think a bit more forward is definitely helping, and it has actually also helped with our work towards our changes, which is something else which I really want to keep sort of progressing with. So yes, gonna try and sort of focus quite a lot on sort of training. Obviously we are working still at or competing at elementary and medium, which we did last year, and I've got no sort of plans to sort of jump up and start competing at advanced medium. I really want to sort of make sure our changes are well established before we consider even coming out and competing at those. Perhaps some test riding towards the end of the year, who knows. So yeah, it just and have some fun. I'd like to be able to take him. The problem is with the 7.5 ton lorry, is finding places. I'd like to go, because our hacking here is mainly sort of road work. It'd be nice to be able to sort of go a little bit more off-road with him, shall we say. But it's finding places to go with the lorry is a little bit tricky. But yes, sort of more varied work is definitely on the agenda for this year. Yeah, so yeah, a bit of a well, just waffling on really, aren't I? But that's my sort of thoughts at the moment. Probably will change, yeah, as things do. But yeah, got a lesson on the 7th of February, so I think that's our next sort of time out. I think the saddle's been checked again before that. So yeah, I'm going to be having to, I've been mainly in the jump saddle recently, so I'm going to have to get back and start doing a bit more sort of work in the dressage saddle. Get him doing a lot more sort of lateral work, get us both fit and supple, I think is the first step. And then looking to do some competitions. I think Bicton's got a competition in February. So yeah, but this time of year it's a little bit dodging the bad weather. Well, it's like it all year round now, isn't it really? But yeah. Right, I better, well, my fire's nearly gone out, so I better put another log on the fire before I do anything else. Otherwise I'll have some upset cats if it gets cold in here. But yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what people's sort of plans and goals are. Is anybody looking to start doing some British dressage? I hope I haven't sort of put anybody off and confused anybody, because yeah, I confuse myself half the time. But if anybody wants any sort of help with perhaps negotiating British dressage, then give me a shout. Because I know actually first glance you look at the rule book and it is quite confusing. What is it, 264 pages? But yeah, you do kind of get sort of used to it. But it's just I just try and keep on top of what I'm sort of eligible for and make sure I'm not trying to do anything I shouldn't. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. I had an amazing year last year, and it's going to be really hard to top that, definitely. With doing the area festivals, championship, and get 10th, and then the associate championship, bless him, it's very easy to sort of forget quite how far we've come, really. My little Welsh cob, bless him, my little superstar he is. And that's the other sort of thing. I'd quite like to have the opportunity to have another go at lower levels and bring something else on as well. Perhaps take the pressure a little bit off Bo, so we don't competing at every, because there's so many competitions. It's very easy to sort of think, oh, we'll do that with him. And I think he does get a little bit bored sometimes with the dressage, but he's just so kind natured, really, that he just does it. He's so workmanlike. He just does what's asked of him, bless him. Because I would like to do this couple sort of dressage festivals locally. Dutchy do one, I think they do one twice a year now, and Chard also do one, so they're quite good to do. We'd normally do the Midway Championships, but that's not going ahead this year. But yeah, there's so much, so many competitions to do. It's very easy to get a bit carried away and forget that they got to enjoy it as well. And that's the other reason for doing the jumping. A little bit of variation for him, which he thoroughly enjoys, bless him. So, and I do enjoy it, really. Getting there. I just got to keep control of the nerves. Right, yeah, I better do some jobs in the house. I think I've got a bit of a plan. I think actually talking to you guys has really sort of helped. And sort of get a bit of a plan in my head and actually put it down on my calendar, which I've got out here. I've also got my weekly planner. I'm trying to be a lot more sort of planned on exactly what I'm doing, rather than just sort of drifting along, which is often what I end up doing, and then going into blind panic thinking I've only got like 2 days or even a week before something. Yeah, it's going to try and be a lot more organised. See how long that lasts. So that's it for this week's video. Yeah, hopefully I'm planning on doing some pole work in the next one, so that should be quite good fun. Hopefully the weather will improve. Yeah, well, we haven't got what they're suffering with in Los Angeles at the moment, those wildfires. I was watching the news. I hope everybody's keeping safe and keeping warm in this cold weather, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.